Good morning, dear students in grade 9. Welcome to our English seminar for today, in which we are going to have some revision about the most important grammatical skills in your course. Well, dear students, dear colleagues, let me first welcome my colleagues in the studio who are going to participate in this seminar. Miss Mariam Muhammad, an English teacher from Damascus Directorate. Good morning.
Good morning.
Miss Mariam. And Miss Sausan Hamdan, an English teacher from Quneitra Directorate. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bassel. It's my
Well,
pleasure.
dear students, dear colleagues, as you know, in your course, in your curriculum, we have, let's say, some important grammatical skills in which, in this seminar, we are going to focus on the most important grammatical skills. Of course, there are other seminars after some days, but for today, we are going to talk about the passive voice, the reported speech, maybe how to write a with sentence, the conditionals, the relative clauses. I think these are the most important grammatical skills in this seminar. Let me start with Miss Mariam. When we talk, Miss Mariam, about, or Miss Sausan, the passive voice, are you ready to talk about the passive voice?
Always
Well,
ready.
the passive voice, when we talk about the passive voice, I want you to clarify to the students how to make passive, what is the importance of using the passive voice, why do we use the passive voice, first of all, before talking about the
yes.
rules.
We use the passive voice when the doer of the action is not important, or the action that he has done is more important than the doer himself.
You mean when we use the active voice, for example, when we say Sausan broke the vase,
Yes, Sausan is
here
the subject.
the speaker focuses on the doer of the
yes,
action.
Sausan is the doer.
Of course, but when we use the passive voice, we focus on the action itself.
Yes.
I mean, the action
On the
is
verb.
more important for the speaker than the doer of the action. The vase was broken, so the
Yes.
action is more important when we use the passive voice. That's why we use the passive voice. As you said, Ms. Sausan, sometimes we don't know the doer of the action.
Yes.
That's why we use the passive voice in some processes. Well,
Exactly.
let us try to focus on the rules or the stages, how to make passive, Ms. Sausan.
Yes.
The stage is yours.
In the sentence, in the active sentence, we have the subject, the verb, and the object.
Yes.
When we change into passive, the main element of the passive sentence is verb 3, or the past participle. So first we take the object from the active sentence, we put it at the beginning of the passive sentence.
Can you give us an example?
Like, for example, we have children play basketball every day.
Every weekend.
Every
Okay.
weekend, sorry.
It's okay.
Children here is the subject. Play is the verb, and basketball is the object.
Good.
So we change the object now will become the first in the passive
You
sentence.
mean we use the object as a subject?
Yes,
We use the
exactly.
object as
It is
a
the
subject. This is
subject
step
of
number
the
one.
passive
Good.
voice. Yes.
Step number two.
After that, we use verb to be. So if the
In which tense?
if the sentence
It
is
depends on the tense
yes,
of the
if
active
the sentence
verb.
is present, we use it present. If it is past, we use past.
Good.
So it is here present, we use is according
So
to the
play
new
here
subject.
is the active verb here in the example. Play is in the simple present. So we use verb to be in the
is.
simple present.
Is because basketball is singular.
we use
Yes.
is. Right?
Exactly.
Good.
After
Then-
that, we use the verb of the active sentence in the past participle in the passive voice sentence. So we say played. It is a regular verb.
Good.
So we only add ed. And at the end, we use the
The
subject.
doer of the action
Preceded
must be
by
preceded
by.
by the word by. It
yes.
becomes the agent in the passive.
Yeah,
By
exactly.
children. So sometimes it's not necessary to mention the agent. Sometimes it's necessary to mention it to complete the information.
Yes.
Here,
Yes.
I think it is important. Basketball is played by children.
Yes.
Good. Yes, please.
But it's optional to use by plus.
Sometimes
subject.
it's optional.
Yeah.
You're right. What else, Miss Susan?
Now, if now in the simple present, I gave you an example of the simple present. Should I give you another one for the simple present?
Of course, you have to read
yes.
the example.
Now, John washes the car every morning. The car is washed every morning by John.
Good.
In the simple past, we use was or were.
Yes.
The verb to be should be in the past sentence, and the same procedure. So, John washed the car yesterday. It will become the car was washed yesterday by John.
Yes.
In the present continuous, the form will be the object, then verb to be, plus being, and verb 3. John is washing the car is being washed. In the past continuous, we use the object, plus verb to be in the past, was or were, plus being, and verb 3. They were building a dam was being built.
So here, let us try to repeat what we have just said. I think sometimes the idea is not clear for some students,
Yeah.
Ms. Susan. Maybe some students get confused when using verb to be.
Yeah.
Simply speaking, look at the active verb here. John is washing the car. So here, wash is written, as you said, in the present continuous. So we have to use verb to be in the present continuous. That's it. So here, the car is the object. It becomes the subject, as you said. Is being, we use verb to be in the present continuous, is being. Then we use verb 3 or the past participle of the active verb, of the main verb, becomes washed. So the car is being washed. It's the same if the tense in the active verb is past continuous. We use verb to be in the past, as you said, past continuous. Were building, was being. That's it.
But according to the object.
Exactly.
Okay.
What about the perfect tenses, Ms. Susan?
Now we have a present perfect or past perfect. In the present perfect, the form will be the object at the first of the sentence, plus have or has, and been, plus verb 3. So we have an example. The strong wind has destroyed many houses.
So has destroyed here is present perfect.
Present perfect, exactly. And now we will put many houses at the beginning.
Many houses is the object.
Yes.
It becomes the subject.
It is plural, so we should use have been destroyed by the strong wind.
So has destroyed, you need to use verb to be in the present perfect, because the verb destroy is written in the present perfect.
Exactly.
That's why we use verb to be in the present perfect. Have been or has been. Then we use the past participle of the main verb destroy, destroyed, and then we mention the agent. It must be preceded, as you said, by the word by. So by the strong wind. Now, what about the past perfect?
In the past perfect, we have the form as object plus had been and verb 3. The driver stopped after he had seen smoke coming out of the lorry's engine. Now the driver stopped after smoke had been seen coming out of the lorry's engine. So smoke is the
driver
subject
stopped,
of the new
sorry, Miss
sentence.
Susan, you're right. The driver stopped. This is the first clause. We don't need it.
No.
After he had seen smoke coming out of the lorry's engine. The first sentence, the driver stopped, can't be written in the passive voice because we don't have an object. So forget about it. Let's deal with the second clause. Had seen smoke. I think smoke is the object. So the driver stopped after smoke had been
seen.
Because seen is in the past perfect. We use verb to be in the past perfect, had been. Then we mention the past participle seen coming out of the lorry's engine.
Yeah.
Good. Before we go on, I think we have a call. Lilas, good morning. Good morning, Lilas.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
We're fine, thank you. Well, how are you doing?
Yes.
Are you studying? Are you studying hard at home?
What?
You are studying hard, right?
Yes.
Good. Your question, please.
I want to ask about the passive voice. can we have missing word from the passive voice? And if yes, how can we have it?
Can we have what?
Missing words.
Missing words.
Missing words
In the passive.
in the passive.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I can answer you. Well, in the exam, you know, the missing words must be functional words. I mean, grammatical words. They have a grammatical function in the sentence.
Yes.
So it could be. Why not? Yes, we can ask about the passive voice in the missing words. Why not?
She said if yes.
Verb to be, for example.
Yeah.
You have to know how to use verb to be with the present, with the passive. In all tenses, in the present simple, past simple, continuous tenses, perfect tenses, future forms. Okay?
Is,
Thank you.
are, was, were,
Welcome,
this one.
welcome. Good luck, Lilas. Well, let's go back, Ms. Sausan. You were talking about the
Using on the model.
perfect tenses. Now, what about the models? What about if we have an auxiliary verb?
Yes, when we use the model, usually model the verb after it should be zero form.
An example,
So,
please.
we have the object can or could be plus verb 3. The strong
If we have
wind,
can or could.
yeah,
Yes.
the strong wind can destroy many houses. Many houses can be destroyed by the strong wind.
That's
so we use it be after can.
Yes, the zero form of be.
The zero form.
Because after models,
Yeah.
we use the zero form. Here,
Yes,
in
and
the
we should use
active,
verb
the
to be,
active
so
verb.
we use be.
Destroy here comes after can. It is in the zero form. So we use be in the same form. Can
Exactly.
destroy, can be.
And
That's
it must be missing word in the exam.
Yeah, we
Maybe.
can
Why
have
not?
be
Yeah.
as
Maybe.
a missing word.
Can
be.
missing
be
word
here.
be. It could be. Why
And
not?
even by,
Yes.
I think.
Okay.
Don't you think so?
Sometimes the connecting words,
by.
it's something else, Ms. Sausan. Here we are talking about the passive
Passive.
voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, must, if we have must in the sentence, we have object must plus verb be and verb 3. So, we must move people from their homes before building the dam. People must be moved from their homes before building the dam.
Good. People must be moved from their homes before building the dam. I'd like to say something else, to add something to our dear students. How to distinguish between the active voice and the passive voice. Simply, if the sentence tells you what the subject does, what the subject did, what the subject is doing, what the subject has done, it is active.
Active.
If the sentence
If we
tells
see it
you
by.
what happens to the subject,
Yes.
what is happening to the subject, what will happen to the subject, it is written in the passive,
Passive
simply.
voice, yeah.
That's it. So
And when
this
we
is how
use
to distinguish.
when we see the word by in the
Yes.
sentence, this is a
Yeah.
clue that this is
This
a
refers to the
passive
passive.
sentence.
I mean, in other words, if the subject
Yeah.
transmits the
Yeah.
action, it is passive.
And if we
the
don't
subject
buy.
receives the action, it is passive.
Passive voice.
Let us give an example. As we said, Sausan broke the vase. So here, Sausan is the doer.
Yeah.
The subject here transmits the action. While
So it
when we
will-
say the vase was broken
by
by
Sausan.
By
so the
Sausan.
subject receives the action.
action.
Am
Yes.
I right?
The
So this
vase.
is how to distinguish between active
and
and
passive.
Passive.
So the students should know that here, for example, in the exam, if we have a missing word here after must, people must, missing word, space I mean, then we have verb 3. So it is very clear that we need be
Be.
here.
Yeah, it must be.
Must be moved, because when there is a space before, after the auxiliary verb, the model auxiliary verb, and then we have verb 3,
Past
it
participle.
must be
Be.
be,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Good. What else, Ms. Sausan?
Now,
Let us try to exercise here to choose. I think we have an exercise.
Yes,
Let's do
examples
it
as
together.
what we have in the exam.
Let's start the
Now.
first one.
choose the correct form. If you get hungry, you can buy or can be bought snacks at the shop. Now, of course, we should use
You are the doer here.
Yeah.
So you have to choose the active, not the passive.
Yeah. We have subject.
You can
Can buy active,
Yes, you
can
can
be
buy.
bought passive.
If you get
So-
hungry, you can buy.
So the correct answer is
Can buy.
can buy. Miss Mariam, please.
Every year, these islands visit or are visited by thousands of tourists. We have by.
Tourists.
It refers to the Passive voice. The islands, it's an object, not
Good.
the subject. The correct answer here are visited.
Because we have
We have by. Yeah.
by thousands of tourists.
Yeah.
Next one.
Paper is recycled or recycles to make a new products.
It's
No.
very clear here that
Yes.
paper here is not
Is
the doer. It
recycled.
receives the action. So we have to use or to choose
The first one
passive.
is recycled.
The passive, not the active.
Yeah.
Is recycled. What else?
Natural disasters can be predicted, can predict by scientists more accurately these days. Natural disasters, it's an object because it receives the action, not
So-
the subject.
Not the doer, you mean?
Yeah, not the
Doer of the action.
or agent. Yeah, the correct answer it can be predicted.
By scientists. Okay.
Okay.
The last one.
New walls are built or are being built around the village now.
New walls are built or are being built around the village now. Because we have now here.
Because we have now are
So it is,
being
the action is happening now.
Yes,
so
are
we have
being
to
built.
choose the present continuous,
Yes.
not the present simple.
exactly.
Are built, present simple.
Yeah.
Are being built, present continuous.
Continuous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are being built now.
Now.
Are being built because we have now.
Yes. So that's everything, dear students, about the passive. We hope that everything is clear. Now we can move, Miss Mariam, thank you, Miss Hafsan, to talk about relative clauses.
Yes.
First of all, before you go on, let us try to explain the word relative clauses or this title.
Yeah.
When we talk about clauses, what do we mean? A clause means a subject,
Subject
and
plus
a verb.
Verb. Yeah.
Plus a verb. So any clause, dear students, must have a subject,
Subject plus
and a verb.
Yeah.
She swims. He drives. She speaks French. I live in Damascus, etc. All these are clauses. A clause must contain a subject,
and a
verb.
Yeah.
Now, here, of course, we have types of clauses. We have time clauses, we have if clauses, and we have relative clauses. What do we mean by relative clauses? Of course, relative clauses should start or must start with a relative pronoun.
Pronouns.
The relative pronouns are very clear in the course. In grade 9, we have which, we have who, and
that.
or that.
Yeah.
So, the floor is yours, Miss Mariam.
Yeah.
Can you talk about relative clauses, please?
Relative clauses, it's a clause in a main clause that clarify or identify which person or the thing that we are talking about.
Yes.
For example, the man who or that I was talking to is my uncle. Who or that I was talking, it's a clause, a relative clause that relates to the man.
Good.
Because I have the man, it's refers to people, for a human
So we
being.
use who with
We use
people.
okay, who
Or
or
that.
that. Who or
Simply.
that for people.
Yes.
And which for things.
Yes.
For example, the cat which I bought.
Okay, so here in the example,
Yeah.
relative clauses identify which person or thing we are talking about.
Yeah.
The man who or that I was talking to
Is my
is my
uncle.
uncle.
Yeah.
Tourists who come to Syria
Usually go to
Busra.
Okay.
Before we go on, Miss Mariam, we have a call. Good morning. Butul, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. And you?
We're fine. Your question, Butul, please.
I want to ask you about question number 9 and 10. Do we have to give a full
Question
answer?
number 9 and 10. Where? In the exam, you mean? In the final exam?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have to give a full answer?
Aha.
And if the answer was
You are
only 1
talking.
sentence?
Okay, I see. Butul, you are asking me about the second test in the final exam. As you know, in the second test in the final exam, we have 2 tasks. You have to do 2 jobs, 2 tasks.
Yes.
The first task is to say or to decide whether the statements are true or false, right? You are given 3 statements. In the second task, you have to answer 2 questions, number 9 and number 10. So these 2 questions ask you about specific information in the
the
text? Well, sometimes it's not necessary to write a complete
answer.
sentence. I mean, for example, when we say Ahmed lives in London, if the question is, where does Ahmed live? It's enough to say in London. There is no need to say he lives in London.
Yeah.
So both are accepted. If you say Ahmed lives in London, it is a complete answer. It is accepted. And if you say in London, again,
Accepted.
your answer is accepted. Okay? Betul?
Okay.
Is it clear? So sometimes it's not necessary to write a complete sentence. It would be enough if you give the specific information, the required information. That's it.
Only the required information.
Okay? Good luck.
Okay.
Betul, good luck. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Mariam,
Okay.
can we continue, please?
Yeah. How or why do you use relative clauses? Number one, to give extra information about something or someone. Use which for things, as we said before.
And who for people.
And who for people.
Good.
We have noticed here, we separate the extra information from the rest of the sentence by commas.
Good.
If we have
For
extra
example?
information, for example, my uncle who works in a hotel is coming to visit us soon.
So here, the clause in blue, this
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
the main clause, the main sentence,
My uncle is coming to visit us.
soon.
It's
Now,
enough, yeah.
If we want to add
Extra
information about my uncle,
Yeah.
about a person, any person,
Yeah.
not only my uncle, we use who
Yeah.
for people,
Yeah.
right? So here we have to separate this clause
Between two commas.
by using two commas.
Yeah.
Who works in a hotel?
Yeah.
Good,
Okay.
good.
Tourists in Syria usually go to Damascus, which is the capital city.
So here we are not, Miss Mariam, dear students, we are not here trying to identify
Yeah.
the word Damascus, because Damascus is identified.
Yeah.
It is well known
It's known for
to
people.
everyone.
Yeah.
So here we are just adding extra information,
Yeah.
more information about Damascus. So here this clause is called non-identifying clause or adding a clause. That's why we use which here, because we are talking about a capital city,
City of
not a
city.
human being.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
You can't use that in extra information sentence. It's a notice here. You can't use that. Only who
In
or
extra
which.
information we cannot
Only
that. We
who
cannot
for
use
peop-
that.
Yeah. Who for people or which for.
We can use that
Things.
only instead of who or which when we identify.
Yeah.
Not in
Extra information.
extra information.
Yeah.
Good.
You can't leave out who or which. Okay. Because it's very important. or
Because it is
necessary.
the subject.
Yeah, so the subject, the doer. Okay.
Yes.
We have some examples about who or which.
Before we go on,
Yeah.
sorry, Miss Mariam.
have call.
Heidi, another call from Heidi. Good morning, Heidi. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Heidi?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Good.
أستاذ أنا بس بدي
It's
أسأل
okay.
سؤال.
Can't you speak in
قاعدة
English?
passive voice.
Heidi. Can't you speak in English?
I
You
don't-
speak in English?
I'm sorry.
You have to use English. Yes.
I
Yes.
don't-
Your question.
أستاذ أنا بس بدي أسأل قاعدة الباسيف فويس ضروري نحط الباي؟
Heidi, I prefer to speak in English. It's okay. I can understand your question. When we talked about the passive voice before you called us, but again, I can repeat. Sometimes, Heidi, it's not necessary to mention the doer. No, the agent in the passive. If the action is more important, there is no need. But sometimes it is necessary to mention the agent because the information is not complete. Okay? For example, when we say, let me use another name, not Sausan. Maryam broke the vase. So if here I can say the vase was broken, and that's it. The vase was broken. If I am more interested in the action itself, there is no need to mention the agent.
Yeah.
Right? But if I want to mention the doer in the passive, I have to say the vase was broken by Maryam, not by me, not by my sister, not by Sausan.
Okay.
So okay, so it depends on the speaker himself. If you are more interested in the action itself, there is no need to mention it.
Yeah.
If you are more interested in both or in the doer, in addition to the action,
It's
okay.
very important.
You have to mention the doer. So it depends. Sometimes it's not necessary. For example, another example, when we say people speak English all over the world. Heidi,
Yeah.
you are listening. Okay. People, again, the example, people speak English all over the world. Let us try to make it passive. We say English is spoken all over the world. There is no need to say by people,
Yeah.
by whom, because it's very clear,
Clear.
obvious. When it is clear, there is no need to mention it. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Good luck. The
Okay, we
exercise now. We have an
exercise,
exercise. Miss Susan, Miss Maryam.
Yeah.
Read the following sentences and choose the correct answer. Here, let's start with you, Susan, please, the first one.
Mrs. Hayek, which or who is a teacher at my school is leaving soon. Mrs. Hayek is a person, so we should use who.
Good.
Okay. Number 2, the charity, which or who is based in France, has several projects in Africa too.
So the charity maybe is an organization or an institution.
that
It's not
provides
a human
help.
being.
Okay, yes. It's
So-
a thing. It must be which.
Good.
My cousins, which or who live in Denmark, email us often. Now here my cousins is person, so we should use who.
Good.
Okay. She told me she had passed her test, which or who was really good news.
Good. So here,
It depends to the news or to the
she
test.
told me she had passed her test,
Yeah.
which was really good news. So we are talking here about news,
News, not about she.
a human being.
Okay.
So here
Which it
we
must
have
be
to use which, not who. Thank
Okay.
you very much. Now,
Question
again, I think maybe in Unit 10, dear students, we have something called question tags. Before we go on, dear colleagues, dear students, let me clarify something before we go on to talk about question tags. As you know, in English, we have 3 types of questions. We have WH questions. I mean the questions which begin with
WH.
a question word.
Yeah.
WH question. What, why, where, who, etc. Then we have another type of questions. It is called yes, or
no.
they are called yes-no questions.
Yeah.
I mean, the question here must begin with an auxiliary verb, not by or not with
WH
a
word.
WH question word.
Yeah.
So here the answer could be yes or no. For example, can you drive?
Yes, I can.
You see? Can you swim?
Yes, I can.
Do you speak Italian?
No, I can.
That's it. So here, have you finished the seminar? Not yet.
Yeah.
We haven't finished
Yeah,
yet. So
because
here,
you have-
yes, no questions must begin with a question word, an auxiliary verb, sorry. Now, we have another type of questions. These questions are called question tags. So, what are question tags? First of all, they contain only 2 words, and they are usually used with or in spoken English, not in written
Yeah.
English. I mean, when we speak, we usually use such kinds of questions.
Yeah.
Only in spoken language, not in written language.
Yeah.
Let us try to explain the purpose of using question tags and how they are formed in the sentence. Miss Susan, please.
Now we use the question tag at the end of the sentence to check for the information in the main sentence if it was true or not.
Yes.
This is the use of it, but there are many questions. They only consist of the helping verb and the subject of the main verb. Now, we have we have positive questions and
We use, first of all,
We
we
use
have to
yeah.
clarify as an introduction
yes,
to the question tags. We use question tags, or called mini questions,
many questions
Short question.
at the end of,
of the sentence.
of the sentence.
Yes.
At the end of any sentence.
Yeah.
Good. To ask for what? For
For
information.
the information in the main sentence.
Or
if
to
it was
check
true or not.
information
Yeah.
sometimes. To check,
check
it,
the
or to make a
information.
question sound
More polite.
polite.
Yeah.
So this is the purpose of using question tags,
Yes.
dear students. Sometimes I know the answer, but I want to make sure. Maybe
it is true or
I
not.
am 70% sure of the answer, but I want to make sure 100%. That's why I use a question tag.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to make my question more polite, as you said.
Yes.
And sometimes I want to check my information.
True
Right?
or not? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. To make sure, I mean.
Okay.
An example.
Now, we have, if the statement is, we have, okay.
Three examples.
You are tired, aren't you? This is positive question and
Do we
negative
have a
tag.
call? Sorry? Ah, okay, sorry, Miss Sausan. Siham, good morning. Siham. Siham, good morning. Siham, can you hear me? No call. Okay, sorry.
Yes, we have positive question and negative tag. Like we have, you are tired, aren't you? We have
here-
are
Good.
is the helping verb, and you is the subject. Here it is affirmative. We make it into negative, aren't you?
Good. Let me repeat your information, please.
Yes.
You are tired. This is the sentence. Here,
Exactly.
are is the main verb.
Yes.
Am I right? It is verb to be.
Yeah.
So when we
It
have
is
verb
main,
to
yes,
be,
it's not.
when we have verb to be, we can use it in the question tag.
Yes.
So here, if the sentence is affirmative or positive, we make the question tag
In
negative.
negative,
In
yeah.
the negative, we use it in the negative form.
As
Aren't.
opposite.
So as you can notice, dear students, the question tag contains only two words. Two words only.
Yes.
The auxiliary verb
And
Plus
the
the
and
subject.
the pronoun.
Yeah.
Or the
pronoun.
Not a noun, a pronoun.
If we have now,
If we have a noun
we
in the
replace
sentence, we have to use a pronoun,
Yeah.
not
Yes.
a noun.
Yeah.
So
English
here,
likes pronoun,
aren't you?
always.
You are tired, aren't you?
Yeah.
If the sentence is in the negative form, you aren't tired,
Tired, are you?
are you?
Yes.
That's it. Okay, let's have more examples now.
Now, what is Mike doing? Okay, you are studying, aren't you?
Good. You are studying, aren't you? Very nice.
Yes. And
Okay, again we have Siham. Siham, good morning. Siham.
Hello.
Siham, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. I can hear you. Good morning. Your question, please.
Hello.
I can hear you, Siham.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your question, please. Your question. Siham,
she's hearing
use
from the TV.
the telephone.
She's hearing from the TV.
You have to hear me from
telephone.
the telephone, not from the TV. Siham. No, Siham. Okay, let's continue.
Okay, as we have said, if we have affirmative sentence, it will change into negative. You are studying, aren't you? And if it is negative, we change it into affirmative. You aren't studying, are you?
Good.
We have here the subject is you and the auxiliary verb are. They are affirmative. We change it into negative. Aren't you?
Good. Miss Maryam, please.
Yes.
Another example.
like we said, if we have verb to be,
The same
I will
example.
change it into negative. I will keep it as it, but if I have positive, I will change it into negative, and the
Okay.
opposite is correct. Plus the pronoun, only pronoun. For example, you are studying here, aren't you? In the first section, we have positive are. We will change it into negative
Good.
aren't. Number two, she isn't late. We have auxiliary verb, which is isn't in a negative way. We will change it into positive. Is she? Number three,
Yes.
they were at home at 6 p.m. We have auxiliary
Where
verb.
in the
where? In the-
affirmative?
okay,
So we
we'll
use
change it
where
to
in the
weren't.
question tag.
Weren't they? He wasn't shopping. We have wasn't. We will change it into positive.
Affirmative,
Was he?
Good.
Okay.
Thank you. So here when we have, for example, simple present or present perfect or simple past,
Yes.
what should we do? Let's have
In-
more examples to talk about other tenses.
Yes.
For example, they like eggs here, Miss Sausan.
Yes, this is simple present. So we should use do or does in the simple present. Here it is affirmative.
Let's try to discuss
they
each one alone.
like
Let's try
dogs,
to discuss
eggs,
each
sorry.
one, each sentence alone. Look at the first one, please. Can you talk about it, Miss Sausan?
They like eggs.
Like here
Like is affirmative.
is in the, which tense? In which tense?
It's simple present.
In the present simple. Good. So
Yes, we should use either do or do or does. Here they, so we should use don't, because this is affirmative. We make it into negative. Don't and the pronoun or the subject they.
sorry for interruption. We
Yes.
have another call. Muhammad, good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
How are you, Muhammad?
Fine, thank you. And you?
We're fine. Are you working hard at home? We are very sure that you are working hard at home. You are studying, preparing for the final exam, aren't you?
Yes, teacher.
Good. Well done. Your question, Muhammad, please.
The missing word come from test just or from grammar exercise?
Muhammad, to answer your question, you have two books, right?
Oui.
We or yes?
Yes, yes.
You speak French, Muhammad.
Oui.
Okay, it's
Yes, I
okay, it's
study
okay,
French.
it's okay. I can understand you. No problem. Well, Muhammad, you have two books and you have 12 units. In these two books, you have a number of texts, right? You have many texts, you have many exercises. It's okay. You have to focus on on a grammar, Muhammad, grammatical skills. I mean, forget about all exercises. You have to understand, I mean, the grammatical skills. When you feel that you understand the grammar very well, so don't worry about the missing words.
Yeah.
The missing word could be an auxiliary verb. Is, am, are, was, were, can,
yeah.
could, sometimes will, why not,
Yeah.
be, being, been, etc. Have, has,
Had, yeah.
and it could be a
Articles.
connecting word,
Connecting word.
because, but, and,
When.
or, when, after,
Until,
etc.
yeah.
Until, and it could be an article, the,
Yeah.
or a definite article, an indefinite,
A or
an or a. Okay, we can. It could be a relative pronoun.
Yeah.
Who or which. It could be a quantity word. I mean, a word which expresses quantity. Many, much,
yeah.
few, any, some, etc. So all these words are considered functional words. I mean, they have a function, a grammatical function in the sentence. So all these examples can be found in the texts and they can be found in exercises. So don't worry about the exercises. Just understand
Yeah.
the purpose of using these words, why we use these words, and that's it. Don't learn by heart, you see, don't learn by heart hundreds of sentences. No, it's not a good strategy or way. The good strategy is to understand
yeah.
the purpose of using these words, why we use these words, and that's it. Okay, Muhammad?
Okay, okay.
This is my advice to you.
Thank you.
Do you have another example?
No, no, thank you.
Good luck. Goodbye. Wish you good luck. Let's continue.
Okay. She plays tennis very well. Here we have a simple present or present simple. She and plays. We have s at the end of the verb, so we should use does, doesn't, because the
If
statement
the verb
is
has s, we have to use does.
Does, yes.
Simply.
Okay.
If the verb has no s, we
Do,
use
don't.
do.
Do. Okay.
That's it.
it is affirmative, so we make it into negative, doesn't she?
Good.
You came late last night. This is simple past, so we should use did. And it is affirmative, so we use didn't.
We use this to ask about the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. So
Didn't you?
it is affirmative. The sentence is affirmative. We use negative question
Didn't
past.
you?
That's it. Thank you. What else? Now the opposite, Miss Maryam.
Yeah.
The examples, please.
They don't like eggs. Here we have don't. It's impositive.
All these
We will-
examples are negative.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, we will change it into positive. Don't, do they. Number 2, she doesn't play. We will change it into does she.
and
You didn't come, did you?
that's it. Thank you. Now, before we go on, we have another call. Salah, good morning. Salah. Good morning, Salah.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Your question, please.
But in page 560,
Sorry? Would you please repeat again?
New language.
in page 65,
Page 65, in what book?
the question number 5.
In which book, Salah?
activity,
The
maybe?
activity book, the student's book? Which one?
The activity book.
What page?
65.
Activity book.
60,
Activity.
page 65. What
Question
exercise?
tag.
But there is a grammar for the prefixes,
No, it's about
it's,
reported.
Sorry.
suffixes.
Reported speech.
Your question, please, again, Salah. Exercise 65. Exercise what? Exercise 2, 3, 4,
5.
5.
Five.
What about it?
Make nouns from
Make
these
nouns from
adjectives.
these adjectives
And
and
verbs.
verbs. Do you mean that this question important for the exam or not? This is what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe yes.
Salah, as you know, in the exam we don't have such questions. We don't ask you
Changing
to
into
make adjectives or to make nouns. Maybe they are important to you because you have
Choose
a question
separate.
in which you have to choose.
Between
Choose
brackets.
between brackets. So it could be, we can give you a sentence in which you have to choose or decide
Yeah.
whether to use a noun or an adjective in this sentence. So they are important in the question which asks you about choosing between two words in brackets. Okay?
Not to derive.
So you have to distinguish between to know when you have to use a noun and when you have to use an adjective in the
Adjective, yeah.
sentence. Okay, Muhammad? Salah.
Yes.
Good luck, Salah. Thank you. Let's go back. Here we have another, let's say, tense, which is the present perfect.
Yeah.
And we have the models also.
Yes.
Miss
Okay.
Susan?
In the present perfect, we will use have or has as a helping verb for the question tag. So we have he has written 3 letters. Here has plus written. It is affirmative, so we should write hasn't he.
She. Hasn't he, sorry. He has written 3 letters. Here
Hasn't
we
he.
have a mistake, copy
Yes.
mistake.
Yeah, copy
It's
mistake.
okay.
Copy mistake.
It's okay.
He, not she.
Yes.
They haven't left early.
Have they.
She can speak
Yes.
French very well.
Can't she?
That's it. Very good. Now we have more examples. Miss Mariam,
Yeah.
please.
You like chocolate cake. We have like simple present in affirmative sentence. In affirmative case, we will
Yes.
change into negative. Like verb 1, don't you? Number 2, she painted her house. Painted, it's simple past or past simple. We have
To use didn't.
Yeah.
Last
Didn't
week,
she?
Didn't she?
Good. Now here we have to choose.
Yeah.
Read the following sentences and choose the correct answer. Miss Mariam, please.
The children left the door open. We have
Left is
in
in
the
the
past.
past.
Okay.
So-
And in affirmative, we have changed into negative. Didn't they?
Good.
Number 2, you can speak English. We have modal, can. We will change it into can't, into negative.
Can't you? Not can you.
Okay.
Good.
Hey-
Miss Sausan,
Yes.
please.
He won't be late. Now won't is will plus not. So here it is negative.
Will he?
We write will he. They've already been to Kuwait. Have they or haven't they? So we should use haven't they.
And the last one.
He's Syrian. Hasn't or isn't.
So here the student,
Yes.
Confused.
I think such kinds of
Syrian
statements
is an adjective
are
here.
maybe
It's not
higher
verb
than
three. Yeah.
the ordinary ones because the student here should know whether this short form is he
or has.
plus is or he plus has.
Has, yeah.
Because we have a nationality here, Syrian,
Syrian.
so it must be verb to be, is,
Yes.
not has.
Yes.
If we have verb 3,
Only we have verb 3.
it is has.
Yeah.
But here in this case, It is, not
students
has.
should
So
be
here
careful
we have to
about
use
it.
isn't, not hasn't. We have a call from Shahid. Good morning, Shahid.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
We are fine, thank you. Your question, Shahid, please.
I want to ask a project.
Ask about what?
A project.
Project. What about it? You mean in your book you have a number of projects. Are these projects important for the exam or not? That's what you mean?
Can I write my project?
You can write your project, why not? If in the exam you have a composition, right? You have to write a composition in the final exam.
No,
If-
no.
Sorry, I
أنا
don't
عندي
understand you.
ألو.
Would you please repeat your question? Your question.
Can I write this project
Where?
in 4 projects?
4 projects?
Where? You can write your project
You
everywhere,
can,
but not in the
write
exam.
whatever you would like. Maybe
Okay,
to
if
write
you want to write a
it's
project
your own,
about your project, write about it. It's okay.
I will never forget that day in my life last summer. I went
she want to read her
Palmyra with my...
You mean, can I read my composition, not project?
Yeah.
It is not a project.
Yeah.
Shahid,
Eh?
it is not a project.
It's a
It
paragraph.
is a composition.
Composition.
Okay? A composition, not a project. Okay?
Okay.
You want to read your composition for
Yes.
us now? Oh,
Okay.
it's okay. You have only 1 minute. Go on. We are listening. Go on. Shahid.
Yeah.
Okay, we are listening. Go on.
Waiting, yes.
Continue.
please.
I will never forget that day in my life last summer. I went to Palmyra with my family.
There are mistakes.
We went by bus. We saw the ruins, theater, and the temple. After that, we made some tourists and had a happy time with them. It was a lovely day.
Okay.
Sure.
It's a
can
nice
I write
composition.
this project? This?
Shahid, your composition is very nice, but maybe you have to mention maybe more details about this journey, but you can, it's okay, there are no mistakes. You can check it up with
Teacher.
your teacher or at home with your family to make sure that you don't have mistakes. Your composition is good, but it is a composition, not a project. Okay?
Okay.
Good luck. Thank you very much. Goodbye. That's it. That's everything about the question tags. Now we have another exercise.
Yeah.
Missing words here. Write the missing word in each space. Miss Maryam, please.
Okay. Number 1, this weather is awful. We have is verb to be in positive. We will change it into negative. Isn't it?
Isn't. Yes.
Okay, I can't do everything. Can I?
Okay. He is Syrian. Because we have Syrian, its nationality, it will be isn't, not hasn't.
Yes.
We have to wear sport shoes,
Yes. Sports shoes?
don't we?
Don't we?
Okay.
Yes.
It takes 5 hours, takes, it ends with s, present simple, doesn't it?
Very nice. Now, the reported speech. Do we have time? We have time. Thank you very much. Now, we can talk about the reported speech. As you know, dear students, when we want to report any speech, we have to use said, as you can see, or told to report what someone
Statement.
said
Yes.
to someone else.
Yeah.
For example, Maryam said something to Sausan. I asked Sausan, what did she tell you? What did she say? So Sausan should say, Maryam said so and so.
Okay.
That's it. For example, Selma here, not Maryam or Sausan.
Okay.
It's an example. Selma, Ali, I'm sorry about what happened. Selma told Ali that, of course, that here is optional.
Optional, yes.
Yes, we can do
That
without it.
she here Selma, these words between quotation marks are Selma's words,
Yes.
not my words, not your words.
Actual words.
Exactly, the actual words or the direct speech.
Okay.
Now, when we want to report this speech to someone else, for example, when I want to tell you what Selma said, I say, Selma told Ali, I am the speaker now,
Okay.
and these words are my words. So I have to replace the pronoun, instead I have to use she, right, not I.
Yeah.
So I have to use she because I'm talking about Selma,
Selma,
now.
yeah.
Selma told Ali that she was sorry. Here we changed the tense also because I am using here the reporting verb in the past.
In the past.
We go
I
one
have to
point in the
use
past.
exactly the past form of be. She was sorry about what had happened because happened here
In the-
is in the past. So I should go a step backward
Yes.
when
Past,
reporting.
perfect.
So
When
I have to use the
reporting.
past perfect.
Okay.
Selma said that she was sorry about what had happened.
Yeah.
This is an example. Now, Miss Maryam,
Okay.
yes,
Like
please.
you said, we have many changes in the pronoun and in the tense in reported speech. If we have simple present, we will change into simple past. For example, Alice, I work in an office. Alice said, because we have Alice, I will replace the pronoun I with she because it relates to Alice.
Okay.
We have in the first sentence work. It's simple present. We will
Simple
change
past.
into simple past. She worked in an office.
Thank you.
Okay.
Before we go on, we
Okay,
have
call.
another call. Hala, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
We're fine, thank you. Your question, please.
I want to ask each one of you an advice for the final exam.
A piece of advice. When we finish, you can wait for us, okay? At the end of this seminar, we promise you to give
give you an
you
advice.
a piece
Each one.
of advice, okay?
3 pieces.
Okay.
3 pieces of advice.
Yeah.
Because advice is
Uncountable.
uncountable noun. We cannot say an advice. Hala. We say, can you give me some advice? It's okay.
Yes.
A piece of advice,
Yeah.
but not an advice, okay? Because we can't say advices.
Yeah.
No, because advice is uncountable
Countable
noun, like sugar or coffee. It is uncountable,
Yes.
okay?
So wait till the end.
So wait till the end of
And
this
we will
seminar.
give you
We can give you a piece of advice. We
3
promise
pieces.
you. Thank you very much. But for the time being, stay home
Yeah.
and work hard, okay? Stay home. Don't go out, okay? Goodbye.
Okay.
Goodbye. Thank you. Again,
Simple
please,
past.
Maryam.
Okay. If we have simple past, we will change it into past perfect. Alice, I worked in the garden. Worked in the simple past, we will change it into past perfect. And I, it will change into she because it relates to Alice.
Okay.
She had worked
in the garden.
In the garden.
in the garden. Okay.
The present continuous.
In the present continuous, Alice, I am working in the garden. Alice said, when we change into, we will change into past
Present continuous becomes
into
past continuous.
So the will become was because she is the subject here. Now Alice said she was working in the garden. Now the past continuous
It's not
will-
required. It's not required. There is no need. But here
Okay.
we explain it. Because it is a file talking about the grammar, everything
Exactly.
related to the reported speech. But in grade 9,
We can
I
do
think
without
it's
it.
not required. The
Yes.
past perfect continuous is not required. There is no need to mention it. Here, when we
Reported
have
question.
a WH questions now, reporting WH questions. Why are you laughing? Yes, please.
Yes, he asked me why I was laughing. This now me is the main concern of the reported question now. So because it's me, he asked me, then I will use the same question word at the beginning. Why I was, because it will change into past, and laughing.
We have changed in the order of the subject
So,
and verb.
the last one.
Okay. What are you going to do after school? She wanted to know what I was going to do after school.
Thank you. Let's have a stop here. We have a call. Zainab, good morning.
Good morning.
You have a question, right? Your question, please.
I want to ask about conditional sentences.
What about them?
I want to you.
Okay. You need
To clarify
to
or-
clarify
or
to you
specific question.
you need us to explain the conditionals, right? Zainab, just listen to me, okay? A conditional sentence, any conditional sentence in English must
Yes.
have two clauses. The first, the clause which begin with if, we call it
State
if
the
clause,
condition if clause.
and the clause which
began.
contains will or would is called result clause. So we have two clauses, if clause and result clause. Any conditional sentence. For example, if I have enough money,
I will help you.
I will buy a new laptop. Okay? If I have enough money, I will buy a new laptop. If I have enough time, I will visit my aunt tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay? So we have two types of conditionals. They are mentioned in your book. We have the first conditionals and we have
second.
the second conditionals. The first conditionals is used to talk about something which may happen in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, if I have enough time, I will visit you tomorrow. Okay,
After
Zainab?
the corona will end, not
Yes.
But
the
not
meanwhile.
now, not now.
Not
of course.
now, yeah.
Not with the
now.
coronavirus.
Yes, but and the second type now, it is used to imagine about the present, something which is not true. For example, when we say, if I were rich, I would buy a car. You see, but I am not rich enough. If I were
untrue.
a millionaire, I
Yeah.
would buy a villa, but I am not a millionaire. You see, I
what
am
you will
imagining,
become.
if I had a laptop, I would use the net, but I don't have a laptop.
So I won't use the net.
You see, so type 1, in the if clause, it is called, as I said, first conditionals. In first conditionals, the verb in the if clause is in the first form, simple present,
Yeah.
and the verb in the result clause is in the future,
Will.
and zero form.
Yeah.
In the second conditionals, the verb in the if clause is
Simple
in the
past.
second form,
Yeah.
past simple,
Okay.
and the verb in the result clause
Would.
is conditional, I mean would and zero form.
Okay.
Okay, Zainab?
Okay, thank you.
That's it. Thank you. Goodbye. We have another call. Sandy, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning.
Your question, please.
How to use the verb found in the tense of noun?
How to use what?
How to use the verb found in the tense of the noun?
Found in what?
How to use the verb found in the tense of the noun?
In the spell the word, please. In the
In
of
the
noun.
what? In what? In where?
In the passive voice.
In the
passive
how to
voice.
use
Found.
found?
The verb found.
Found, you mean?
Yes.
If the verb
Yes.
here, found is a verb which is not like find.
Yeah.
I understand you now. We have find, I mean to have something in a place, to find something.
Yeah.
So find is the present simple, the past form found.
Found, yeah.
And the past participle is again
Found.
found.
Same.
It is
Keep it.
irregular.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Find, found,
Found.
found. It is irregular verb. And we have another verb which is found. It is a regular verb.
Yeah.
Found, founded, founded.
Founded. Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Another
So
question.
we
Do you have
only
another
added-
question?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Good luck. Goodbye. Thank you. A nice question. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, how to report yes/no questions? I think they are not required in grade 9.
Yeah. In the baccalaureate, maybe.
They are in the baccalaureate, so there is no need. Let us try to explain how to write a wish sentence. Miss Mariam, please.
Okay. Use I wish plus would to express a wish for a change in how someone behaves. Change in behavior of someone. For
For example,
wish
if
for
someone is
change.
not
I wish
polite
for
Yeah.
change,
to my friends,
You aren't polite to my friends. I wish you would be more polite to my friends. Or I wish you wouldn't argue all the time.
so when we wish, we are imagining something
Yes.
about the present which is not true.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
example,
We wish for
and we
something but
want to
not-
make the reality better.
Yeah.
For example, when sometimes see someone's behavior and we don't like this behavior or this habit, and we
We
wish
wish he would
him
change it.
to change it for something better.
Yeah.
So we use wish in this case. Sometimes the situation is bad, or I don't like a situation in reality. For example,
Yes.
my room is small.
Yeah.
I wish it was bigger.
Yes.
Okay.
We wish for
That's
something
it.
that we
I
don't
can't
have.
sleep. I wish I could sleep.
Yes. We wish
That's
for
it.
something that we don't have.
It likes the second type of conditional clause.
It's the same.
Imagination
It's the
situation.
same
Yes,
because
it's,
here we
that
are
the
again
situation is
imagining
not true.
something
Yeah.
about the present which is not true
exist.
and
Okay.
real. That's
Okay.
it. Yes. An example. More examples.
Your room isn't tidy. I wish you would tidy up this mess. Okay. We use wish past tense verb to express a wish for the present situation to be different. For example, this room isn't very big. I wish it was a bit bigger.
As I said. Yes.
Okay, as you said.
Yes.
I can't sleep at night. I wish I could sleep at night.
Thank you.
Okay.
Miss Sausan, please, the last one. I think, again, it's not required in grade 9,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
So should I
Do we
read
have time? More time? Oh, okay, we have a call. Let's take the call. Then we can talk about some pieces of advice.
Yeah.
What do you think? Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Miss Sausan. We have a call. Maram, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Maram?
I'm fine, thank you.
Your question, please.
In activity book, page 62.
In the activity book, page
62.
62.
Yes.
What about it?
Number 6.
Okay.
Every year, a lot of money.
I'm trying to open this page.
Exercise number 3.
62, here we are.
Sit.
We can use the laptop, it's okay.
This is 6.
Page 62, here we are. Can we use the laptop? Thank you very much. Exercise number?
3, the last sentence.
Exercise number 3, Maram?
Yes.
2.
Exercise number, we don't have
don't
exercise
have.
2.
No,
We have
exercise
3,
3, she said.
4.
Yes, 6 from 3.
Exercise 3. 62, Maram,
Hello.
in the activity book,
Yes.
exercise 6, page 62,
Uh,
are you sure?
number 2.
Number 2, exercise 3, not 2.
Can you read?
Can you read the sentence?
Hello.
I can hear you. So, Maram, would you please read the sentence?
That's our new teacher in question tag.
Where is it? Exercise 6, Maram, not 2. Exercise number 6, Maram. It is exercise 6, not exercise 2.
Yes.
Okay. So, number 2, that's our new teacher. This is what you mean?
Yes.
Oh, that's our new teacher.
Teacher.
Isn't
8.
Isn't
it?
it? Yeah.
Isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yes, isn't it? And we can say, isn't he? It's okay, because we are talking
Our
about
teacher.
a teacher. So both are accepted. Isn't it? If we use it, we are talking about an issue,
Yes.
Yes.
about something,
About
an
the
issue.
information.
Information. I mean, is this information true or not? Okay? But when we say, isn't he? It's okay again.
To be sure about
That's
that.
our new teacher, isn't it? Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Do you have another question?
No.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, at the end, we can do the exercise if we
Yeah.
like.
Okay.
Why not? Then we can talk
exercise?
about
Okay.
some advice. Okay?
Number 1, I didn't bring a map. I wish I had brought a map. We have didn't in simple
I'm
past.
trying to do exercise 6,
Okay.
page 62.
Okay.
You aren't
You are-
going to the shops. Number 1.
Are you?
Are you?
Yes.
2, that's our new teacher.
Isn't it or isn't he?
It's okay. Number 3,
Alexander's
parents.
parents are both doctors, aren't they?
Aren't they?
Number 4, you've been to Paris and Rome, haven't you? Because we have been.
That couldn't possibly be true.
Possibly be true. Could it? Could it?
It takes a long time to fly to Australia.
Doesn't it?
Most students in Britain have lunches at school.
Lunch at school.
Have lunch at school, don't they?
Don't they? I can sit here.
Can't I?
Can't I? Now, at the end of this seminar, I just want a piece of advice from you, Miss Miriam, and a piece of advice from you,
Yes.
Miss Susan. Just 1 minute,
Okay.
please.
My dear student, the most important thing, stay at home. Please stay at home. Ignore everything about COVID virus and study hard to your exam.
Thank you. Miss Susan, please.
Okay, my advice is that they have study every day, but for the exam, in the exam, I'll give a bit of advice for reading the text and answering the question of the text. Read the question before reading the text.
Okay.
And when you read the text, keep the questions in mind and try to solve them. This will save time for you.
Thank you. And my advice to the students is to work hard at home, as you said, to again revise all the texts in the activity book and in the student's book. Try to redo the exercises in both
Again and
books
again.
and relax, feed well, eat well, stay healthy, be clean, stay home and relax.
We hope everything will be okay.
And everything will be okay, be sure. We are here to help you. Well, dear students, dear colleagues, let me, at the end of this seminar, thank my colleagues in the studio, Miss Mariam Muhammad, an English teacher from Damascus
Thanks for this
Directorate.
action. Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for
Thanks
your
for your
participation. And Miss Sausan Hamdan, an English teacher from Konaitra Directorate. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And thanks for your participation, dear students. Till we meet in other seminars, we wish you all the best. Goodbye. Thank you.